Let's just go from there. All right, my name is Amarjot, और मैं बोल रहा हूँ Edmonton से. I'm talking to Rajiv about some problem in issues in sponsorship. All right, go ahead, brother. Tell me about the problem, and then we'll go from there. Let's see if we have a
Uh,
solution.
yes, sir. So it's actually related to sponsorship, but then it's about the study visa. So the thing is, I think last time I mentioned that, my spouse, her degree is in law, but she wanted to do masters in something called accounting. And I think you suggested that it would be better if it is in a related field because it's a master's degree, right?
For
So
for the point of visa issuance, for the point of visa approval.
yeah, so the thing is that what I'll give background what we are thinking, how to go about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So because she is convinced that she wants to do something in accounting,
Hmm.
so we saw several advanced diploma programs, which are like 3-year courses, which involves like 2 years of study and 1 year of co-op.
Hmm.
And these programs, I'm seeing that they're available in Ontario government colleges like Seneca, Humber. And I went to the IRCC website and I saw that these are indeed in the list of designated institutions that allow international students to also work after that. So, what is your view on that? Because a proper bachelor's degree would take almost like 4 years, and from a university like University of Toronto, it's going to be pretty expensive as an international student. So, what's your view like how it would be if we go for an advanced diploma, but for a 3-year course, like 2.5, 3 years?
I'm glad you asked this question, and there are many students who ask me these questions, and I bet they will get benefit by hearing my reaction. Uh, Let me first understand what is the final education of your friend, of your girlfriend at present. She has a bachelor's degree already,
Yes, that's correct.
and so that is bachelor's is a highest education right now.
Yes, and it's in law. Yeah.
She has a LLB.
Uh, I don't know what is it equivalent to, but it's like it says bachelor's degree,
Mhm.
economics and law.
No,
It's in.
is she a lawyer there in her country?
No, I would say she's more like a junior associate. So she's in a law firm. She deals with like those foreigners who do foreign investment there. So all that paperwork, which involves the legal paperwork, doing the due diligence and that kind of work.
Okay. Uh,
Yes.
the here's the problem. Uh,
Hmm.
your challenge is to get the visa.
Right. Right.
That is the challenge number one. If you don't get the visa, none of this discussion is meaningful to her long term.
Right.
The problem is when she applies for a study visa, and she has already studied in US for some time, right? She has?
Yes, but that was a certificate.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fine. That's fine. So she has already studied something in US, and she already has a bachelor's degree or equivalent in
mhm,
her country. As a visa officer, when I'm looking at her application for study
mhm,
plan in Canada, I want to ensure that she is a genuine student.
correct.
Genuine, this is difficult to describe what is genuine, but she is a bona fide student. That means her real purpose, the real and stated purpose, is to actually obtain education in Canada and not just to sneak into Canada just as a disguise of a student. So that's all I have to say about genuineness. The way to determine genuineness is a difficult and it's different in every case. But I can tell you this: if the person has already studied bachelor's level, and if that person is going to do a similar or a lower level course in Canada, that puts a question mark on the genuineness of the intent. To be very clear, if a person is going to do a second bachelor's degree or something like a diploma, which is open to people who have done high school, like grade 12 and later. So
Right.
high school is 12, and after high school, they can go to Seneca and those names that you took. So all these colleges are in US what is called a junior college, is a community college, just like you have De Anza and other many other
Yes.
Many of
Exactly.
these are smaller colleges. These
Mhm.
colleges are not a replacement for university, San Jose State University, or big universities where you can go a full-fledged degree course. So these are a buffer between high school and the full-fledged universities. Similarly, Seneca and other colleges, they are meant for students who are in intermediate goals, somewhere in between. They are not at the degree, they're not at the high school, they are somewhere in between. So they are just going there to explore the world, explore their subject area, explore their major, and then later on transition possibly to a university. I am afraid that as a visa officer, when I see her application after doing a bachelor's degree and after having some experience also working in a firm, and going to a community level or junior college level course, that makes me suspicious that she is not there for study, she is there for something else. That's a observation number one. All right, so something to understand.
Right, right.
What you said that going to university is expensive, and 4 year degree and 2 year degree and other, they are expensive. I acknowledge it's expensive. Nothing is free as far as education is concerned when you are a foreign student. But what I said earlier to you was that there is no need for her to actually complete the whole program. So if she takes admissions into a 2 year, MBA program or Master of Accountancy or anything at the university level,
Right.
there's no need to actually complete. If she takes admission, she has a right, and by law she can make a choice to actually withdraw from the course after 1 or 2 semester and transition into something else, permitting availability of the choices. So she can even go to a junior. It is much easier if you're already in Canada. Not like it's not guaranteed, by the way, but it's slightly easier if you're in Canada to
Right.
transition from the university to go to a different major or different school than
Mhm.
applying from, then qualifying for a study visa from outside. So that's what it is. But if she goes to a junior colleges, the chances are, uh, greatly reduced that she will ever get a study visa. So if she doesn't get a study visa, there goes their entire plan.
Right, right. So, yes, sir. So, there's a follow-up question on this. So, the
Yeah.
reason me and her were thinking about the advanced diploma, because I think in the statement of purpose, right, we can say that she actually doesn't have any experience related to accounting. And now, because she wants to pursue accounting, because there are some accounting nuances in her job that made her take some courses on Coursera website,
Yeah.
and like free certificate courses in Coursera, and then she wants to now explore that field. So don't you think then advanced diploma would be an option to justify that, okay, because we don't have any experience in this field, we would like to get with the basics?
It is better than doing a regular diploma, but it's no way uh, better than
Equivalent.
actually doing a 2 year master's degree or two
Right.
year something else. But as far as the money is concerned, do not forget that if you are also an express entry applicant, and very soon, we were talking, I think, very in few months or whenever that time comes, to for you to get the express entry conclusion, so that you get the passport request instantly. And if she has the marriage certificate, you can add her on to a PR. So within close to less than 6 months, she will become the PR, and there will not be any need for her to pay tuition money as a foreign student. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. Either way, whether you go for an advanced diploma or a full-fledged degree, post-bachelor's, uh, your liability is to prove that you are a genuine student.
Right.
Just because choosing a major, choosing a course at a different level, it is a little juggling of your study objective, but eventually there's no escaping the fact that you have to prove your bona fides as a student.
True, true. So, sir, another follow-up question to this. So, because we were looking at these advanced diploma courses, then what I realized, there are some courses now, again, in these government-approved colleges, Seneca and all. There are graduate certificate courses as well, which are like a year or 8 months in, say, finance or
Yeah,
accounting.
yeah,
And there, the eligibility is that, of course, you need to have your IELTS, but there it clearly says bachelor's degree, and they don't say bachelor degree in which field. In which field? It can be in any field.
Yeah,
But
that is a better idea than going for a 3-year diploma or any specialized diploma. So anything
or
which says a graduate certificate in accountancy, I think that has a better deal as far
okay,
as the visa bona fides are concerned.
right, right. Yes, sir. Because I was checking in the university, York University, University of Toronto. The problem there is they actually expect bachelors from a related field. Whereas these graduate certificates, at least for now, they don't expect that. They want you to just have a bachelor's degree and a decent IELTS score. So you think that is better than going for an advanced diploma rather?
That has a much credibility and much strength than a regular advanced diploma.
All right, all right. So, sir, now the question is that okay, suppose she gets the visa, and
Mhm.
then after that, say we get married, and if she has not yet entered Canada and now she's going to Canada to study, right? Do they really care what her relationship status that time is?
That's another intelligent question. Now, if she gets a study visa while she is in the country and
And
before reaching Canada, if you get married and her marital status changes, then she has to declare her change of marital status both to the visa office that issued the visa and also when she lands at the Toronto airport. So she has to declare. So it will not affect anything, but I think that declaration must be made to preserve her marital status because ongoing she will be a beneficiary of the express entry through you. So otherwise, it has no effect.
okay, okay. No, sir, I think I lost you there. Why would they care about her visa? Because she already has the student visa.
No,
And
what I said is they don't care about anything else. So, but the declaration of the change of marital status must be made as soon as possible, immediately after marriage.
okay, okay, okay. But
Yeah.
it won't matter that I'm a PR holder there and she has the
Well, if
student.
you well, are you saying that you will marry after? Now you have to take this scenario as a page by page. So
Okay.
one scenario is when she's already in Canada on a student visa, and then you land there, and then you uh, when you uh, when you land there, then you get married. So that is one scenario. Is that what you had in mind, or
Uh,
you want to marry
it's
before?
no, sir. It's kind of the opposite way in the sense I will land there first as single, and
Okay.
then most probably then mostly I'll leave Canada and just get married and then come back because I already did my first landing, so I don't need to s- say anything about my relationship
Where
status.
where where will you get married?
So it's mostly gonna be Vietnam.
Okay, so now that's a different scenario now. So she has not yet entered Canada as a study visa holder,
Uh-huh.
and you are going to get married now. Has she already applied for study visa or not yet?
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
Okay,
So
okay. In that case, she will not get the study visa. So
okay.
once she is already a spouse of a PR card holder, she will not get the study visa. Now you are looking to sponsor her as a wife, as a
Mhm.
spouse, and that will take close to 1 year plus.
Yes, sir. So no. So my question was this: that is it okay to do this? That okay, I land there, then she already gets her study visa. Okay, she let's assume she already got her study visa, and
In
she's
a, in
about
a, in advance before you land there.
right, right,
Okay,
right,
okay.
right. I haven't even landed there, and now I first go land, do all the things, and I bring her there, and she comes on a student visa, and
Okay.
then we get married, and then I apply for her sponsorship in Canada, and she's continuing her study, so that is
That
fine.
that is that is that is fine. That is, but what does happen is you have to understand, uh, you know, people are smart. They through all those tricks and strategies, but eventually uh, everything will come out transparently. What will happen is uh, you are already in Canada on a PR.
Right.
She later joins on a study visa, or maybe she's already done a study visa, and then both of you married, and then you can do a in Canada sponsorship, as you said earlier. When you write your relationship history, when you write all the information, how did you meet and how did you,
Right.
all those things, all those information is now available to the adjudication of the immigration in Canada. So they will not try to understand how are these dots connecting together. I mean, did you suddenly see each other one day in University of Toronto and York University and suddenly got married, or did you know each other since when? Since US and other places. So they look at all those factors and then build a scenario whether this relationship is genuine or not, or whether there's any game going on there. So there's always a danger sometimes if they find some kind of plotting there. So they will always they always have they all you don't have a luxury of not getting approved, because if it is refused, then you have no appeal in this process. There's no appeal in Canada application. What I think is a safe and foolproof way is that I think if she has a study visa, she should be in Canada before you go there. So that is a more stable way. I see that it does not put any question mark on your how relationship history builds up. She should already be there, and then you join, and that's okay. Or if you, how close are you through express entry?
Sir, it's December 23rd. I completed 3 months, but it still says background check is going on. So I'm in that IP2 stage. That's what they call it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If you are, I don't think it probably will take a long time for you to get the process completed for express entry. I think it might be better for both of you, because that admission will be in the fall of
Yes.
fall of
Yeah,
2019.
we are planning either fall or January 2020.
Or a more confident way of tackling this is that let her get the admission in that university, or at least one or two universities, and you follow up on your express entry, even if it takes till let's say March or April,
Right.
And then what you can do is you can as soon as you are near the completion, maybe passport request, you should plan to get married and add her name as a spouse. That is the best from the legal point of view. That has the best chance of a good outcome, because eventually she will become a PR, and that will also reduce the amount of money that you have to spend on the tuition, and and it actually circumvents any chance of refusal in Canada for in Canada application process. So I think that the only drawback I can see is because it will take another 4 to 5 months before she will be cleared for her own PR. All the forms, all the background check, and all the medicals for her, police, and so let's say from March till March till September. Another maybe that will delay both of your entry till September or October, but that is okay. It's not a big issue. You can get married and add her name on the express entry and still have her apply for a study visa. I bet that they will nonetheless give her the study visa while awaiting PR status through the express entry through the marriage to you.
All right. Okay. So, sir, in that case, if I do what you say, like I get married and then in that case, I don't need to prove my marriage is genuine. The certificate will just do fine.
No. It's not. I hope it's that easy. The marriage certificate is just the beginning. There are other things that they see how the genuineness of the marriage is, no matter whether it's being applied from overseas or from within Canada. You have to. There are a lot of factors you can read. I can send you an article later on. They see a lot of things. How did they all began? What is the relationship? How they are linked to each other? Was there any cohabitation? What is the communication? What are the joint plans? How they combine their lives together, and the variety of factors. So that genuineness check will be done either way, no matter whether you apply from outside or inside.
No. I didn't mean about inland outland sponsorship. I was saying like before landing in Canada, the one you said, in which I can just get married before that, and then I add her.
Even in that too. I mean, you can add somebody just because of a marriage certificate. But if there's any There were not in, definitely not in your case, but there were cases where people, because they were immigrating because of other fraudulent reason, they added a spouse and immediately, and they wanted to take that person. So
Okay.
they always look at the whole picture, how all of a sudden, at the last stage of express entry, you suddenly found a wife. They will look
I
at those
see.
things.
Okay, so they will check
Yeah,
the genuineness check.
that's
Okay,
right. That's right. So those
but it
things
is
will,
still
those things, that is possible. Listen, I've had many examples where they were from India, and it still took about 4 to 5 months before everything was added.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then that was that, and let's see, I have few more. Okay. So, sir, another question was that if suppose somebody we are doing in Canada sponsorship, and the spouse is already on a student visa, say
Hmm.
it's a program. So even if the sponsorship is going on, and I know you told me that the spouse shouldn't be leaving technically when the sponsorship is on, but if you have a student visa, valid visa, can't you still go in and out? Oh,
Yeah, if you have a student visa, then it is a quite a exception, because if they have a summer break or any other term break,
right,
then the husband wife can both maybe take a vacation and come back later. That's okay. But you have to see it as an exception rather than norm, because
right, right,
the purpose of in Canada's application is that the husband and wife both have established their life together. That's why they want to,
right.
not to disrupt by going, especially if leaving one behind and going and traveling back and forth. But if there's a genuine maybe holiday, both of you want to go to maybe US for a holiday or somewhere else, maybe Hawaii for holiday, I think if you let the immigration know that this is what you plan to do, it will prevent any disruption and a tough interview when you return back at the airport. How did you leave and why did you leave? Ultimately they have to decide, and they have to determine that both the husband and wife are genuinely committed to each other, their lives are intertwined, and there's no disruption. Where there have been some examples, like for example, where the one of the spouse, which is the principal applicant, had to leave because she had a job overseas, and she says, okay, no problem, let the application go, I'm going out for a job, or maybe for a long term stay overseas. And that does not sound good for the joint application. Remember, it's a joint application.
Right,
So if
right.
there's any disruption of any cohabitation, that puts a little question mark on the stability, at least in Canada.
All right. All right. So, sir, now again related to spouse sponsorship, again
Yeah.
the student visa thing. Like I'm thinking many scenarios now, so I just wanna clear. So, sir, so like I was saying that okay, you first said that it would be safer if she goes there first as a student rather than me doing my landing first and
Mhm.
then getting. But I was thinking of a scenario. What if I go there, say in May, June, and instead of fall semester, or she comes at the fall semester, but then we get married after a few months, say December 2019 or January 2020, where she has already studied for a semester or something, and then I do the sponsorship.
There's no problem in it. There's no problem.
That is better, right? Because
That
you
was
said that.
that is, but of course it is better, because she has more time to stay there. There's more time for you to establish your girlfriend boyfriend history,
Right.
uh, both in Canada and previously outside. So it is better. I don't see any problem.
Yes, yes. Okay, sir. So that's a good
Yeah.
good
If you if you
knowledge.
can if you can afford if you can afford to continue paying the foreign tuition fee for her.
Right, 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 right. Yeah. So, okay. So, sir, now this one is related to express entry.
Okay.
So, like, I know I've seen some of your videos on the refusal reasons,
Okay.
and I just want to know, like, at what stage you can assume that you know that you're fine, and what are the maximum timeline you have seen of refusals? Is it just within 1 month, 2 months, or it sometimes can be after 4 months as well?
Refusal can happen anytime.
Okay.
There's no predictability when the refusal can come through. When they
Okay.
check a lot of things, anything that strikes them out of norm can trigger a review and possible refusal. So till the time you get a passport request, nothing is guaranteed.
All right. So even for like if somebody is an IP2 stage, it doesn't mean that the documents are all fine. It can
That's
happen.
right. It can happen anytime till last stage. Anything can erupt into something that can negatively affect your application.
All right. All right. So sir, I think yeah, these were the only questions I had so far.
Mhm.
And it was really nice asking questions to you and getting the answers. I mean, now it's even more clear how we should approach the student visa, or should we just, get married first and add her to the application? So that we need to see now.
Correct, correct. As far as the student visa, the student visa is for anybody is not guaranteed. You have to understand, no matter who the person is, where they are coming from, how much education they have, or student visa is never a guaranteed thing. Uh,
Right.
you should go to the CIC website, immigration website, and look at what documents are needed for student study visa, and then
Right.
start preparing those documents to see whether you have those documents completely in control. That means you have the bank statement for that month, you
Right.
have the English score, you have
Right.
the acceptance letter, maybe a scholarship, or maybe the money is paid for tuition.
Right.
You have to have all the ducks in a row
Mhm.
before you think that you are in complete control of all the possible outcomes of the study visa,
Right.
because you don't want the study visa to be refused.
Correct. Correct. All right, sir. So yes, sir. So I think these were my only questions, and yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, okay, no problem at all, and I wish you well, and we'll see you in Canada sometime soon.
All right, Mr. Amarjot. Thanks a
Okay,
lot.
thank
You
you.
have a good day.
Take care. Bye.